pleased to share this here-ness place. That's beautiful. Sometimes when English isn't someone's first language, they come up with expressions that are particularly beautiful. That is this here-ness place. That's wonderful. And Jenny, hi from Manchester. Been raining today as usual. I lived in Manchester for 20 years, so I know the feeling. Lovely to be here. And then Alan, hi Sona, good to see you. I'll pass that on to him. And Jeannie, hello from Portland, Oregon. I really hope you're all right in the fires and the temperatures, Jeannie. Marion from Wicklow, Ireland. Lovely to be part of this community. Thank you. Wonderful. And Barbara, hi from Glasgow, Scotland. Lovely to be here. So it's 7 o'clock. So we'll move on to this evening's session. And some people are still writing in, but I won't. Oh, I'll just say, Sarah, hi everyone. Great to be here. Just heard a call of thunder. I'm sure you mean a what is thunder? A call of thunder or a boom of thunder. Sarah lives just over the hill from me, so that will be the storm that we've just had here. Yeah, but I'm going to shut down the chat now so I can't see it and distract me. Yeah, so welcome everybody very much to this evening's Space to Breathe, which Sona today called Breathe to Space, which I thought was very good. He said, so are you doing the Breathe to Space tonight? So we could breathe to space or we could space to breathe. Either of those options I think are quite attractive. Yeah, so I thought we'd do a practice tonight, which will be a simple calming practice to help us all just stay in touch with ourselves, stay in touch with a sense of stability during all the changes which we are continuing to navigate, and also a sense of connection with one another and a connection to life itself. So a little bit similar to last week's practice. And before I came online, I was looking for a poem. And I came across this amazing blog by Ollie on the Breathworks blog site. I'll just copy in the link because he'll probably be too embarrassed and shy to do that for himself. I really recommend you read it. And there's a really beautiful quote in that blog. Maybe don't read it now, read it later. But there's a beautiful quote from Tony Packer, who was a meditation teacher, a Buddhist teacher. And I thought we'd use that as our theme. So I'll read it out quickly now, and then we can go into the meditation. I'll read it again. And she says, in truth, we are not separate from each other or from the world, from the whole earth, the moon or sun or billions of stars, not separate from the entire universe. Listening silently in quiet wonderment, without knowing anything, there is just one mysteriously palpating aliveness. I find that so beautiful. And Ollie's blog is about awe, the importance of awe, AWE, in our lives. And for those of you who aren't English speakers, awe is it is where we get in touch with wonder. We get in touch with something way beyond our small rational world. And Ollie's blog is about how awe is available to us all the time when we learn to open up to the kind of magnificence of life all around us. I'll just read you a couple of things he says. He says there seem to be two main components to an experience of awe. The first is what's called the need for accommodation, which means realizing that you don't know everything that there is to be known about the world around you. Did you know that there is a special molecule in the brain of migrating birds and butterflies, which is sensitive to the orientation of the Earth's magnetic field, allowing them to find the way like an internal compass? Yeah, so that's, when you think about that, that is totally incredible. Migrating birds and butterflies have got something a molecule, a special molecule in their brain, which means that they can migrate using the Earth's magnetic field. And then he says the other component to awe is a sense of vastness. And he says the Himalayas or the Grand Canyon are the obvious examples, but a sense of vastness can also be experienced from considering some more everyday things. Did you know that the Earth is moving at over 100,000 kilometers an hour? That's about 30 kilometers per second. And yet it still takes a full year to travel just once around the sun. Or consider that the water in every cell of your body right now has been circulating around the Earth for 4 billion years and will continue to do so for billions more. That's amazing. The water in every cell of your body right now has been circulating around the Earth for 4 billion years and will continue to do so for billions more. And we're something like 70% water, human beings. So we are full of the substance that's been in the universe for billions of years and will be in the universe for billions of years. And we're just briefly borrowing it. Amazing. So these are some of these components of awe. But I think what I really loved, I mean, I loved Ollie's blog, his whole blog, but I love this phrase from Tony Packer. There is just one mysteriously palpating aliveness. So in the meditation tonight, I'm going to give us an opportunity to listen, to rest into a sense of one mysteriously palpating aliveness that we are participating in. So rather than feeling that we're this sort of tight, cramped, little hard-edged, separate being struggling through life, we can rest back into the sense of awe, wonderment, and palpating shared aliveness. Yeah. So let's do that tonight. I think that might be fun and awe-inspiring. Yeah. And I would recommend that you have a dip into Ollie's blog later. Okay. So if we settle ourselves into our position, just choosing what position you want to meditate in. As always, you can do it sitting, you can do it standing, you can do it lying down, you could do slow walking. And the main thing is that you will be as comfortable as possible and yet alert. What's going to help you drop into a sense of palpating aliveness? That's the invitation. If you get very uncomfortable during the practice, of course, it's fine to move. So let's just begin to settle. If you want to, you could take a deeper in-breath. Then on the out-breath, resting down onto the surface upon which the body is resting. Letting go, releasing, and let the in-breath flow back in again in its own time. So do this a few more times, help you arrive. Letting go, arriving, resting. And now allowing your breathing to find its own natural rhythm in the whole body. And continuing this sense of releasing with each out breath. Seeing if you can get a felt quality of yielding the weight of the body up to the surface it's resting upon. I really like this idea of receiving the support. So it's not a kind of collapsing or slumping. It's a kind of actively receptive quality. We're allowing the chair, the bed, the planet to hold us, to support us, to help us. To help this sense of stabilizing, arriving, let's allow our awareness to flow down through the body, all the way down inside the feet and the toes, first of all. If our feet are in contact with the floor, there may be sensations. There may be some reason why you can't feel sensation, in which case being aware of your feet in whichever way works for you, but having this sense of inhabiting the feet with awareness. We're not looking in from the outside. We're not thinking about the feet, but we're resting inside the feet. And allowing our awareness to pour up into the legs, through the ankles, the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs. I always like to get a sense of my legs being full of awareness, drenched, saturated in awareness. To some extent, that's through sensation. To some extent, that's through a kind of energetic sense of inhabiting the legs. And I'm aware we have a very mixed group here. There may even be people here with amputations. If that's the case, when I talk about different parts of the body, then just adjusting it as appropriate for you. What we're looking for is a sense of including all of our awareness within each present moment. And if you've got pain or discomfort or very intensely difficult sensations in your feet or your legs, seeing if you can include this in your awareness with kindness, with gentleness. Seeing if you can soften the impulse to tense against the sensations, to push them away, to harden. And as we include them, we can feel into the changing nature of the sensations. Seeing if we can experience them more as a flow rather than the enemy. Now flowing up into the torso, the buttocks resting on the chair, the bed, or if we're standing, having a sense of the buttocks being soft. Yielding, releasing. Now allowing awareness to pour up into the whole torso. There may even be a sense of sort of buoyancy arising in the torso as we allow awareness to fill the torso, the front, the belly and the chest, the back, the whole length of the spine and the breadth of the back and the sides of the body and the inside of the torso. And being aware of breathing in the whole torso. Opening phase on the in-breath and subsiding phase on the out-breath. I like to get a sense of the volume of my torso expanding a little bit in all directions on the in-breath, subsiding a little bit in all directions on the out-breath. 360-degree breathing. So it's not just happening in the chest or the belly, but the whole torso has this rhythm, this flow. Opening and subsiding, opening and subsiding, the natural breath. Is discomfort anywhere? Allowing it to be soothed and massaged by this flow of breathing. For any reason breathing feels agitating or you don't want to stay with your breathing, you could shift your awareness to your hands, your feet, your buttocks to stabilizing. And perhaps just having the breathing continuing in the background of awareness. Now let's allow our awareness to pour through the shoulders, all the way down the arms into the hands and the fingers. If we're sitting, having the hands supported in the lap or on the legs. If we're lying down, having the hands supported either on the body or at the side of the body. If we're standing or walking, having the hands resting lightly at the side of the body. And let's see if we can allow the shoulders to fall away from the midline of the body, so resting into gravity. Very often we hold on to the arms with tension, with effort, we grip in the shoulders. What's it like to release? To let go in the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the fingers. So again, seeing if we can get a sense of resting inside the arms rather than looking in from the outside or thinking about them as an idea. Let's see if we can rest inside as an experience. Now flowing back up through the arms, through the shoulders, into the neck and into the head. So let's check the position of the head. If we're upright, allowing the head to be poised on the top of the neck, maybe the chin tucked in just a little bit, releasing through the base of the skull, and yet openness in the throat. Lying down, giving the weight of the head up to the pillow, the cushion. Coming through the head and allowing awareness to pour into the face, to rest inside the whole face, the forehead, eyebrow space between the eyebrows. If it's feeling knotted and tight, what's it like to soften a little bit there? Eyes soft, eyelids soft, cheeks soft, nose soft, lips, tongue, jaw soft. Let the brain be soft. I sometimes find it kind of amusing and helpful to imagine all my thoughts having a lie down. Sometimes they can feel like they're running about. So now they're thinking it's time for a rest, having a lie down. And it's broadened to be aware of the whole body sitting, lying, standing, walking, breathing. Let's see if we can experience the sense of being human as being a little bit more fluid. The flow of sensations, the flow of breathing, flow of thoughts perhaps, flow of emotions. All this water in the body, 70% water flowing. I'm just going to read out this quote from Tony Packer again. Just drop it in and just listen, see how it lands. In truth, we are not separate from each other or from the world, from the whole earth, the sun or moon or billions of stars, not separate from the entire universe. Listening silently in quiet wonderment, without knowing anything, there is just one mysteriously palpating aliveness. First of all, let's feel that within ourselves, this mysteriously palpating aliveness, the beating of the heart, flow of energy in the body, flow of breathing, almost water in the body moving. The body is much more dynamic than we usually realize. It's the flow in and out of cells, heat. Even the bones are completely replaced every 7 years with cells continually replicating. So rather than experience ourselves as this maybe rather solid, stuck, heavy object, let's experience ourselves as a vitally alive process. Letting life in on the in-breath, and then just allowing everything to flow through the moments and let go with the out-breath. Yes, let go. Yes, let go. Yes, let go. So vitalizing, releasing with each breath cycle. Now let's open our awareness to let in the fact that here we are, 65 processes with a shared experience. And if I'm process and you're process, then where are the hard edges between us? Obviously we are individuals, we are separate to some extent, but is there a hard and fast distinction or division? You could ask yourself that. Or maybe we're all participating in this flow of life in our own way. This mysteriously palpating aliveness. This shared world. We've all got pains and disappointments, sorrows. And we've all got joys and love, moments of happiness. What's it like to consciously rest in a shared world of palpating aliveness? And let's introduce well-wishing towards all these other 65 processes that we're experiencing this time with. All the things we'd like for ourselves, let's wish them for others. Happiness and peace and safety, fulfillment, freedom from suffering. Maybe I should say freedom from avoidable suffering. Many of us live with health conditions where the suffering is inevitable, but as we know, we make it worse sometimes through our mental and emotional reactions and our physical reactions. May we all be free of that. And now let's let go of any effort whatsoever for the last couple of moments to absorb the practice of bringing the weight of the body to the foreground of awareness, sense of stability. And just rest in our experience. Effortless, open. And when we're ready, we can bring a little bit of movement into the body, maybe the hands, fingers, feet. And then gradually coming into bigger movements, opening the eyes if we've had them closed. Let's just take a couple of moments if we want to just have a look at the little boxes on the screen if we can and we want to. If we can't see them for any reason, just imaginatively identifying with these 65 processes of palpating aliveness, mysteriously palpating aliveness. It's a lovely thing to do, just to take one another in. Wishing one another well. Good. And if you want to write anything in the chat box to anybody, feel free. If you just want to slip away quietly, feel free. And thank you all so much for coming and practicing. I really, really love practicing with you tonight. Felt the mystery. And see you next week. Same time, same place. And we have worked out the theme for the meditation retreat in November. So that'll be on the website very, very soon. I'm going to probably tell you more about it next week. She'll be online by then. And let's see what people are saying. I like the idea of our thoughts having a lie down. Yeah, it's kind of a relief, isn't it? I have a strong sense of awe being a continual changing process. That's very good. That's a really good point, Mark. Because awe, it's, in our language, we use nouns a lot, as if awe is a thing. But of course, awe itself is a continual changing process. And part of opening to awe is to allow ourselves to be just deeply touched by what comes in a moment. You see something and you notice it and you're awed, and then to let it go and let the next thing in. I feel very much connected. Have a lovely week, everyone. I've not been able to come for a while, and it's so good to be back. Good. Thank you. It makes my Tuesday. Love the phrase, letting the thoughts lie down. I imagine them tucking them into bed, each one with kindness. That's nice. That's really nice. I imagine, and this is probably something about me, I imagine them in a kind of field hospital or lying down on the floor with a boring grey blanket. Maybe I should be a bit nicer to my thoughts. Heartfelt connection, feeling inspired and grateful. Wonderfully unifying practice. Thank you, Vidyamala and community of meditators. It has been awesome, fantastic. That's great, Meg. Oh, and Gillian, I invited my thoughts to rest on bean bags. That's very good. So yeah, I'd really encourage you all to think about what kind of furniture your thoughts might like to take a rest on. And I'm going to try and give them something slightly more luxurious than a field hospital. See what happens then. We are an ever-changing interconnected process. That is, you know, just go away and think about that, everybody, because that is a true fact. We are an ever-changing interconnected process. And if you don't believe that, or you don't agree, really reflect on that. Like, watch your mind, watch your body, and see if you can find anything that is completely static. And I think you'll find that you can't. And then if I'm not static and you're not static, then this idea that I'm really sort of hard-edged and you're hard-edged begins to fall apart, sort of in our minds and logically. Okay, lovely. We are just in awe, Jeff and Von, lovely. Okay, so let's leave it there. And thanks again to Ollie, not only for his amazing tech support, but your amazing blog, Ollie. It's so good. And I was awed by it and thought that could be our theme. Oh my God, and you can also do clever things with your keyboard to create a little face. That's amazing. And what does that mean? Colon and a P. You have to explain that to us, Ollie.
The smiley face with its tongue sticking out.
Okay, everybody. So thank you all so much for coming in. Yeah, see you next week, and stay open, stay soft, stay awed, and make sure that you keep your eyes and ears and nose and tongue and senses open. And he's saying it's a smiley face with a tongue sticking out. It's a smiley face with its tongue sticking out. That's what the colon and a P is, as a Don't even know what the word is for what that is. Ollie's young and I'm old, so there we are. That's why I don't understand anything. Okay, so that's enough. If you want to unmute yourselves to say goodbye, then please do so. And thanks again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Ollie, you need to let him
Ollie.
Evening.
Bye,
everyone.
Everybody.
Thank you
Bye,
very
old
much.
house here. Ollie, you need to, oh, maybe he's gone away. Anyway, goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
We're all trying to say goodbye.